What's up, everyone? I hope you're doing well. It's Coach Nate here, and today I'm going out for an easy recovery ride, and that's what I want to talk about in this short video. Basically, I really love doing hard training. I love getting in quality workouts, and I think we all know that, going out and smashing it and feeling good is really fun, and it's also what helps to drive our fitness forward, because that creates the stress that we need to help our bodies adapt to harder and harder, more demanding training sessions and help us get ready for those races or events that we might want to do. But obviously, I think we all know that you can't go out and train hard every day. You need to spread out your hard workouts a little bit, or even if you cluster them together, you need extended periods of easy training and recovery so that you can kind of regroup and recover and adapt to those hard workouts before you hit it again. So today, I'm just going out for a little over an hour at a very pedestrian, very conversational pace. I'm keeping my heart rate very low, keeping my power pretty low, and just enjoying being outside. Originally, it looked like it was gonna rain all day today, so I'm happy that I can just get out and get a little bit of extra light and enjoy being outside. As far as it goes, when you're going out doing some of those easier recovery rides, you probably want to keep it so that your heart rate and power are, most of the time, like 90% of the time, they are below what you would normally hope to be doing for more of an endurance session. So let's say your average heart rate for a 4 or 5 hour long ride on the weekend might be like, let's say 130, and your average power for a session like that is 180. I would just think about keeping it below that for basically the whole time you're doing like an hour and a half easy, or even below. So I would think of that as kind of a ceiling. And when I'm talking about endurance ride, I'm talking about just like a normal training ride, not the hardest road race that you do where your heart rate and power are exceptionally high. I'm talking about just like a general foundational kind of endurance session. And on a really short session, if it is just an hour or even less, you probably don't need to usually worry about hydration and taking in fluids and electrolytes or taking in calories so much, because it's such a easy session. But it can be worthwhile. There's a car. It can be worthwhile to have some calories available, so that if you find that your legs are feeling totally flat, you could have a bar or a gel. Not so much because it really matters for that session, but if you're really tired like that, it might help you to recover better. If you are that tired that your legs just feel totally wrecked, I mean, you don't need calories for that session, but having a few calories coming in might help you to be in less of a calorie hole when you finish that session, and can help you facilitate better recovery for whatever your next hard workout is. Or if you're training fairly consistently and you have like 5 or 6 days a week that you're normally out getting some training in, you might even think about just taking the day totally off. On the other hand, if you just train, let's say 3 or 4 days a week, most weeks, if you have the chance to get out for an hour and a half easy ride, or just like a half-hour spin on your lunch break and get that 4th or 5th session in, it can be totally worthwhile. I think a lot of people that are short on time and they're just training 5, 6, 8 hours a week, they just do some short sessions on the weekdays and then some slightly longer rides on the weekends. A lot of times we're tempted to just go out and hammer if we are doing these short sessions. But if you're getting in 2 or 3 pretty high quality workouts each week, you really want to make sure that you keep the rest of your training easy enough that when you do want to do high quality sessions, that your body's recovered and can do them well. Just because you are limited on your time doesn't mean that you should just go out and hammer every session. Aside from just having a good time getting in some easy training, your recovery days can be a really nice opportunity to go out, if it's safe, to ride with a friend of yours who might be also doing a recovery ride, and you can just hang out and chat while you're riding. Or that might be the perfect day to go out and spend time with a friend who is not as fit as you, who maybe it's not the best training partner for one of your harder days. Likewise, if you have routes that you really like that are much shorter and you don't normally use them in training, or they have like descents that take a lot of time out of your pedaling on your workout days, it might be a perfect time to go out and, you know, do some exploring or do some of the short routes that you enjoy but you don't normally use as a staple for your normal training. So like today, for example, I'm doing an out and back on a road that I like, but even though it has a good climb on it, it doesn't really connect through to anywhere that I particularly like riding. So I don't normally come out this way unless I'm doing a short workout with some hill repeats or I'm doing a recovery ride. But if I'm trying to do like a longer loop or a long ride that's like more than 2 hours long, I pretty much never come this way. So it's like, I don't know, it's a fun chance to come out this way, see some of the farm animals, see some different views, and just enjoy mixing it up with the scenery. But I would just think about, you know, making sure that when you are doing your recovery rides, you have as much focus and intention about your training as you do when you're doing a hard workout. It doesn't necessarily have to require a high degree of, I don't know, like type A driven focus to like keep your power exactly at a certain spot or keep your heart rate exactly at a certain spot. But I think that it's easy to get lulled into thinking that during your hard workouts, you're gonna go out there and smash, and then you kind of check out on your easier rides, and then maybe you're halfway through your easy ride and you realize that you're not actually going very easy because you're kind of pushing the pace the whole time. Or if you're riding with a training partner and you're kind of egging each other on, half-wheeling each other into a fast pace, that's not gonna be the most productive recovery session. You wanna make sure that your easy rides are staying on task, just like your hard workouts. So if you are going out for a chill, you know, hour and a half, make sure that it's actually pretty chill so that you can recover and get fresh for the next hard workout. Goes, I guess one last thing that I would share, a lot of times if I have time, I almost always opt to include easier rides in my calendar rather than days totally off. And partly that's just because I really enjoy riding, and you know, as much as it might not always be the perfect training choice, I know from past experience that I can handle a high volume of training fairly well. So since I'm not currently engaged in really high volume training, I know that I can usually handle an extra day of just like an hour or two of easy riding, which for me is, you know, not that long. So, you know yourself and know what your body can adapt to well. Or if you're unsure, just do it and see how it goes over the course of several weeks or a few months, and see if you're making big gains or if your progress is stalled because you're riding a little bit too much, and when you are trying to do hard workouts, you're just not fresh enough to be able to hit it as hard as you want. Likewise, just because I enjoy training and enjoy riding, it's not necessarily all about, you know, the physical end of things. A lot of it's just about enjoyment. And you know, if you are 100% committed to doing the best performances that you can do in races or in hill climbs or time trials or whatever events you might be doing, then you know, maybe it's best to make the right judgment based on what you think is going to give you the best outcome for your fitness. But for a lot of us, you know, I really love being fit. I'm sure you do too, but it's also just really fun. And obviously this is supposed to be something that, you know, adds to our experience in life. And if you're just going to get a lot of mental, emotional well-being out of going for a ride, or you're going to get a lot of mental, emotional well-being out of taking a day off, those are very valid reasons to make that call. Anyway, I think that's about it for this video. I hope you have a good training week, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.